Hello, good evening, friends. My name is Miss Ng. I'm from the Shayla Orthos Library. The current time is 6:10 Eastern Standard Time. The current temperature is about maybe 90 degrees outside. The current temperature inside the library is 4. So tonight I have the story of two people and how they had a wonderful friendship that benefited both of them, and aren't those what the best friendships are? When one's feeling down, they get lifted up by the other, or maybe they're both feeling down but they're down together, or maybe they're both feeling happy and they celebrate together, because friends feel one another's joys and pains. And these two were very famous individuals, making their voices heard. That's the name of this book, and it's the story. And I don't know much about Marilyn Monroe, but one of my all-time favorite singers, and we've talked about her before, Ella Fitzgerald. We read a book about Ella Fitzgerald. Love Ella Fitzgerald. A tisket, a tasket. Okay, but anyway. All right, so, and this is the story of their friendship. And I think it's pretty cool. And it's by Vivian Kirkland, and the art is by Aliana Harris. It's just so good. Ella and Marilyn. On the outside, you couldn't find two girls who looked more different. But on the inside, they were alike, full of hopes and dreams and plans of what might be. Ella sang for her supper on the streets of New York City, but she dreamed of sharing her voice with the world. When she stepped on stage for amateur night competition at the Apollo Theater, her voice brought the crowd to their feet. Goodbye, street life. Hello, jazz band. Song after song, Ella scaled high notes and low notes on her way to fame. Marilyn painted airplane parts in Hollywood, California, in a factory, but she hoped to become a great actress. When a photographer snapped pictures of women helping with the war effort, her brilliant smile captivated the camera. Goodbye, factory job. Hello, studio contract. Movie after movie, knowing just when to laugh or cry on cue, Marilyn inched closer to stardom. For years, Ella's velvety shabba-dabby-doos wowed audiences. Jazz greats like Dizzy Gillespie, Louis Armstrong, and Duke Ellington couldn't wait to share the stage with her. She sold out her concert tours abroad. But still, in her own country, too many doors were closed to her. In 1954, some club owners worried their customers wouldn't come if they played jazz music. Many wouldn't hire black performers, and others would only showcase glamorous female stars like Lena Horne, Dinah Shore, and Edith Piaf. But Ella refused to give up on her dream. Lena Horne, we learned about her too. Marilyn struggled with not having her voice heard in a different way. She dazzled fans with her baby blue eyes and her breathy boop-boop-be-doops. But when she asked for better scripts and a higher salary, the studio bosses ignored her. As a woman working in an industry run by men, she found that her needs and her opinions didn't matter to them. One day, her manager handed her a new script with a big singing role. He told her to listen to the best female singers so she could learn tempo and tune. Marilyn knew who her idol was. The best, Ella Fitzgerald. Marilyn ran right out and bought a pile of Ella's records. Over and over she listened to Ella vocalize, harmonize, and croon those jazzy blues as only she could. Wrapping herself in Ella's voice, Marilyn understood how Ella's music was more than just notes that were sung. It was something special that came deep inside, that came from deep inside her. It reminded Marilyn of how she always put a little bit of herself into each character she portrayed on screen. Finally, the movie premiered. Critics praised Marilyn's performance. They loved her singing style and unique voice. Fans waited in long lines at the theater. The studio made lots of money. Now, when Marilyn spoke, her bosses paid attention, and reporters and photographers followed her everywhere. Determined to thank Ella in person, Marilyn bought a ticket to Ella's next show. Ella took the stage, and she looked out in the audience. Was that her favorite actress sitting right there? Huh? Is that Marilyn Monroe? When the show was over and the crowd thinned out, only 2 women were left. Sitting shoulder to shoulder, Ella and Marilyn chatted. Marilyn idolized Ella because the singer always remained true to herself. Not only did she love Ella for her voice, but she also loved her as a person. Marilyn told Ella how much she learned by listening to her records. Ella's heart sang, and in doing so, she helped Marilyn find her voice. Ella was already famous for her voice, but because of discrimination, not everyone was able to hear it. She told Marilyn that the owner of Hollywood's top night spot, the Mocambo, refused to hire her. Marilyn empathized with Ella. Although she didn't know what it was like to be singled out because of her race, she did know how it felt to be held back because she was a woman. As Ella helped Marilyn find her voice, now Marilyn wanted to do the same for her. Putting their heads together, Marilyn and Ella hatched a plan. Ella picked out her music, practiced her songs, and polished her vocals while Marilyn called the owner of the club, Mocambo, to make a deal with him. She'd bring the media to the club's doorstep if he'd hire Ella to perform. Reporters would write about it, and everyone would want to buy a ticket to Ella's show there, and the owner said yes. On opening night, the club was packed. Ladies in sequins gowns, men in shiny tuxedos, reporters and photographers crowded inside. Draped in furs, Marilyn sat at a table, front, ready, and set to cheer on her friend. Head held high, Ella took center stage, ready to wow her audience. The band played, and Marilyn swayed to the medley, and Ella swayed to the rhythm, and Marilyn held her breath, and Ella filled her lungs and unleashed her musical genius. She sang her heart out for every man, woman, and child whose voice needed to be heard. And for the rest of their lives, Ella Fitzgerald and Marilyn Monroe remained good friends. Ella never missed one of Marilyn's movies, and Marilyn never stopped listening to Ella's songs. On the outside, these 2 stars couldn't have looked any more different, but on the inside, they both understood that sometimes even stars need a little help to shine. And that, my friends, is the story of a wonderful friendship, Ella Fitzgerald and Marilyn Monroe. And it just really goes to show you that nobody makes their way alone. We all need to be there for other people and rely on other people. And that's the way the world works best, is when we're sharing our love and our talents with one another. And when we're helping people find their voice and helping people do what they have absolute every right and need to do. So keep on encouraging people, keep on being the people you are. It's so weird that the camera's over here, but I'm here. And the camera's here, but I'm here. So it's kind of weird. So if it seems like I'm looking this way, I don't know why. That way. But I do know something. I know that I'm very thankful for you. I know I'm from the Shaylin Earthles Library. My name is Missing, and I don't know if I told you that already because I did have to start it over because I messed up. But anyway, I love you, and I look forward to dancing with you tomorrow. And I would love it if you would kiss your beautiful brain and kiss your loving heart and look in a mirror and say, hey, good looking, because you're all good looking, just the way you are. Thank you, friends. Night.